Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to attempt to repair this vintage Ronson CAPRI automatic petrol lighter. It's a cool little lighter that has a few blemishes, but more than worth getting up and back in operating condition. Now we've already pulled the flint spring and screw out. See, with the flint spring and screw in, the mechanism turns, which it should not. So that would indicate that there is most likely an obstruction in the tube. And this particular tube is a straight tube, but we are still going to disassemble this lighter from the top in order to clear that obstruction. So we want to start by getting a screwdriver on our fulcrum cap, back that off, we're going to be dropping everything down into the 91% isopropyl alcohol. There we go. That gets that pressed far enough out of there that we can get a hold of the fulcrum screw. Drop that down into the vinegar. Now the entire mechanism should come up and out of there. We've got our thumb lever and piston spring. There you see the obstructed tube. So this mechanism is going to be a little bit different. You see the gears there in the side, which those will probably pop out of there. We're just going to drop all that down in there. Let that alcohol do its work right at the moment. But the actual snuffer cup is attached to the clutch spring. So that's going to work just like normal, interacting with the gears on the file wheel. So we'll go ahead and drop all that down in there. And let's just see what our file wheel looks like. It does look like there is some debris maybe that could be cleaned out of that wheel. I don't believe that this lighter was used, but degraded flint will adhere to the wheel and could cause it not to work as well as it should, simply by that flint being in contact with the wheel when the flint degrades. So we'll get all that cleaned up. First things first, take our 3/32 drill bit and spin that down into that straight tube. And there, that was easy enough. Just fell right through. You can see flint that fell down, the other dust, really nasty stuff. So we're going to clean this off of our work surface and blow out the lighter right quick. So that straw from the can of air goes right through the tube. I believe that a flint will as well. So So we're going to go ahead and get the rest of these parts cleaned up, get the top of the lighter cleaned up, and then we will reconvene here in a moment once we have everything ready to go. There's really no secret in cleaning this stuff up. We're just going to be using common household disinfectant cloths along with toothpicks, wire brushes, and that sort of thing to get these parts as clean as we can get them so that when we reassemble the lighter, it will work as smoothly as possible. Okay, so we have all the parts here cleaned off, dried off, and hopefully ready to go. The first order of business will be to put the clutch spring together with the file wheel, and you can see how that interacts there as it should. This is going to be a little bit more difficult in this lighter than it is some of the older Ronson lighters, because this one you're going to need to fit that snuffer cap in there and keep it there. And everything will slide right into place. So you get the snuffer assembly here, file wheel, clutch spring, and the snuffer cup. At that point, you will place your gears in position. And this is sometimes more difficult than it seems like it ought to be. There's the top one in there. And that is now into place. So we've got our snuffer assembly here with the gears in the sides. Get our piston spring and thumb lever. And then we will couple our thumb lever with that snuffer assembly. Get a pick down there to center everything. Fulcrum screw slid into place, and we will get our fulcrum cap. And tighten that on down. That is, I believe, as tight as it needs to be. And you see the mechanism is moving freely as it should. Now that we have our mechanism back together, we will go ahead and install a flint straight down the tube. Get our flint spring and screw in behind it. Get our flint grooved in the proper direction. Tighten our flint screw on down. And that is tightened all the way down. You can see that spark in there. Now we will see if that is good enough to ignite this lighter. Got the twist bottom fueling system that Ronson introduced, I believe, around 1953. And I think that should be about enough. Twist our bottom back, and that will seal up nice and tight. And there the lighter ignites. This is how you clear the flint tube and reassemble the mechanism on top of a Ronson CAPRI automatic lighter. Until next time.